first it was a pretty crazy idea, to see if we can engage a completely different, radically innovative way of approaching complex problems.
Innovation and new ideas comes from a diversity of perspectives and backgrounds.
A lot of the neuroscience research says that you can rewire your brain, you can actually train yourself to go beyond your normal default states and think in really different ways.
The idea of anti-fragility is, how do you actually create the capacity to leverage the forces of change and disruption for advantage?
It's been great watching the response, because the response has been, whoa, we didn't expect any of this.
I like the idea of how ideas are generated. I like the idea of using the group to prioritize ideas in a way that's logical and makes sense.
The experience of today was to start to see innovation at work. We talk about it a lot, and in my view, innovation is a messy process. It's a bit like art. And those are the conversations I like getting plugged into, and that's exactly what we had today. Lots of different people, lots of different backgrounds. The spark of something. I think there's a lot more to come.
Very interesting way of how to help people generate ideas around the critical questions. I listened to the different groups about some very interesting ways of thinking. I think my big challenge at the moment in our organization is for our leaders to help them to think differently as to how do they think about the problem.
I was impressed by the process itself, the whole idea of hacking and taking things apart. The process was smooth and it was really well orchestrated and facilitated.
What I experienced today is what we want to see more of. People talking, people collaborating around topics of importance. I hope that today is going to culminate into something that's going to be impactful and that's going to continue.
I think it's definitely opened up my mind to certain things, and I think I'm going to take some of that new thinking back into my everyday work. What really was interesting was just how exciting the future is, and I think it's a future of abundance, not a future of deprivation.
I take away that massive problems can be solved with simple lateral thinking and a little bit of simplicity and collaboration.
How do we change the game? How do we change the conversation? How do we add to something from an exponential rather than a linear conversation? And I think that's what we're trying to do today. So part of what we do is to challenge that kind of conversation and say, don't only look at the kind of leadership that you need for today, but understand it within the context of the challenges. It's rather around saying, from a leadership perspective, what is our vision? What is the African vision? What does that look like? And so I think for us it is about understanding that collective vision, create a deeper understanding around what that is, look at the clarity around what we can each do, and then actually bring that to action and be agile around what that looks like.